welcome, and welcome to January 14th, 2026. You have entered into my 14th day of doing a live. So, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. If you are here, make sure you comment that you're here. Give me a thumbs up, say hello, give me hearts. Make sure you sprinkle the video throughout things. And as you join in, tonight's project is a little special because today is my 9th year of being married. It's our anniversary today. So our transfer tonight has to do with faith and reflective things of what's carried our marriage through every season. It's sort of it has some season in there. It has some clouds, has some sunshine, has a lighthouse. So make sure you comment, say hello. If I can't see you, make sure you put, who you are that's coming in so I can see you. And we'll go from there. So welcome. Hope you've had a great day today. It was great for my husband and I were able to go and have a date. And that was fun. We haven't had a date for a really long time. So that was a lot of fun. You'll notice that in the pinned comments, it's going to say like type amen, or yes, or something like that. Go ahead and type that in there when you jump on. And then I can see your comments here. We are on YouTube and Facebook right now at the same time. So hello, YouTube. Hello, Facebook. If you're catching the replay and you don't see a little red button somewhere above my head here, that means you're catching the replay. I'm so glad, though, because you can still do this great project. It's going to really be simple. We're going to only use one color tonight, one transfer, one surface. We're going to be using the same surface that we did last night, but I've erased that. And so we're going to start with a new thing on here. So the transfer that we're using today is our B-size transfer, and it's called Waymaker. And it's really cute. It has a lighthouse and a sunbeam coming through the clouds. Excuse me. And the waves. And so it's just a really pretty transfer. This is our transfer that we're using. I've used it several times. I put it on sweatshirts. I put it on shirts. I've done canvases with this. I have put it on rounds. So I've done a lot of things with this. You can also just use the words in the middle, Waymaker. You could just use these little words around it. It says Waymaker, Promise Keeper, Light in the Darkness. You are, that is who, my God, that is who you are. You can do those kind of things. It's just really simple, easy. There is a lot of fine detail to this one. So if you wanted to watercolor this, you could. You could add as many colors as you want and blend it all together. You could do one simple color, and that's what we're doing tonight. One and done is what I call them. And this, you can get this in my store online. And again, it's called Waymaker. You don't want to miss out on it because it's not going to be here for long. They switch them in and out, and so don't miss out. Tonight we're doing a surface. This is our chalkboard. It's called our Everyday Chalkboard. It's a 9x12 size. And last night we had on here, until the door opens, I will praise God in the hallways, something to that effect. And then I erased it so we could have a new surface to work on tonight and a new transfer to work tonight. So we're going to use bright white paste and our black chalkboard. So you'll see it will be a great contrast. And the white for the high contrast, the black for the clarity, and things like that. So it's going to be really easy, quick, simple things to do here. And also, if you're just tuning in, tell me where where you're tuning in from. Are you tuning in from, wherever you're tuning in from? Oregon, Washington, California. Anyway, that'd be great. I would love the engagement. And even if you're jumping in to see, like, what is this crazy lady doing? Well, I'm back here. I'm on my live, and I'm showing you our surface called an everyday chalkboard surface. And it's just a black chalkboard that you can just erase, start over, and do whatever. You can also chalk the sides if you ever wanted to. If you didn't want just a white, you can make this into a menu board. It's endless what you could do. So this is our surface. You can just see it's just a chalkboard, and it's been erased. It's been prepped and ready for tonight's live. So I'm going to get my makeshift table here really quick, and then I will show you how we prep our surface. Oops, wrong thing. Hold on. Okay. Here's a little makeshift table so everybody can see what we're doing. So I hope you're doing well. Remember to comment. I have another screen pulled up over here so I can see everybody as well. So you're just tuning in, say hi. I'd love to see you. And okay, let me just go down here. Okay, make sure I'm not missing anybody here. Okay. And I'm going to go up here. Hope everyone's doing well. And so that everyone should be able to see my pinned comment here. And what is this? Can't see past my arm. Okay. I don't know what that is all about. But okay. Welcome. So here we go. We're going to fuzz. Actually, it's pretty not that sticky. So I think I am just going to apply. Usually you would fuzz this really well so that it doesn't super stick to your surfaces. But I've used this several times, so it seems like it's pretty well has been fuzzed. So we're going to do this in landscape. No, we're going to do this portrait style. So we're going to go, this is the front, this is the top this way. So we're going to go portrait style, and I'm going to lay this on here. Get all my fuzzies off so it's not all too fuzzy. I'm going to position the transfer in the middle of my surface. Oh yeah, it's not going to be too sticky. Sometimes they're just really, really sticky, and you have to really fuzz it really well. But I don't think we're going to have to fuzz it too much. Actually, I'm not fuzzing it at all tonight. So I'm just rubbing it down onto my surface, making sure all air bubbles are gone. You don't want any air bubbles in your silk screen because that only makes it hard in the end, and it makes it a bubbled effect under there, and then you have to fix more things. So just go over with your fingers, smooth out the bubbles. That looks pretty good. So hope everyone's doing well. And this surface has a lot of fine lines and oops, that's not what I wanted. Sorry, guys. Okay, so it has a lot of fine lines, and so I'm going to sort of try to work in sections to keep everything crisp. And Would this be something you would hang up in your house? It says Waymaker, and then it says all the parts of the song on it. Waymaker, Promise Keeper, Light of the Darkness, My God, That Is Who You Are. And it has little dots, and so super cute. So I'm going to take my paste. I'm going to try to get this done really quick so I can go watch a show or something with my husband. I don't need to stir my paste because it is already. Oops, I can get it where the light doesn't reflect. Okay, hold on. It's already like a yogurt consistency right there, so I don't really need to stir it. It looks pretty good. It's well. So I'm going to apply this, and in marriage, it's not always what you cracked up to be. It's not happily ever after, and woohoo, you got married. No, it's a work. It's a work in progress. Just like doing your design, doing crafting, it's a work in progress. So, again, if you're just tuning on, say hello. I'm so glad you're here. And as I'm going to chalk this, I'm remembering that God doesn't always show us the full path of anything. It's just the next step. So like marriage has taught me that we have to be patient. We have to learn to trust, and we have to learn how to pray together. Pray for each other and pray for our families. That is a hard thing to do. So even when you don't see things your way or you can't see it, God is a miracle worker. He is the promise keeper. He is the light in the darkness. He is our God, and He is who He says He is. And so even though we don't see it, He's still working. And in this thing, in our transfer, we have a sunrise. So we have sunrise, we have a lighthouse. Sunrise, to me, I see it as hope. And the lighthouse, I see it as a foundation. The waves, those are the life's ups and downs. And do you have a Bible verse that sticks out to you, or have you ever needed God to make a way for you? He's had to make a way for me. So I'm going to just come around and I'm going to just start going with the words up here. And I'm going to lightly press. And I'm just going to go over like what it says here. It says that God, He's the promise keeper. He says He's going to do something. He's going to do it. We may not like the outcome, but God is the God of His word. And now I'm coming around the bottom here about all these little dots, dots here. Spreading it across, making sure it's all. I don't want it to dry on here, so I'm going to take a little bit more, and I'm just going to hopefully be able to just cover it in one fell swoop here, going over the sunrise, the clouds. He's our way maker. He makes a way for us. And little birds, because even in a dark time, the sun shines again, and the birds are chirping again. It may not feel like they're chirping right now, but they will again. And the waves may be tossing in your life right now, and you may not be able to see clearly in your boat. It might be rocking, and it might be tossing in the storm, or it might be tossing and almost hitting some rocks. But look up, because there's a lighthouse, and God is our lighthouse. He makes a way for us. I'm just coming over, making sure all areas are covered. Again, I don't want I don't want it to dry per se on here, but I do want everything covered. Okay, I'm taking my excess, putting it into my cup. Oops. Okay, now I'm going to lift it up and make sure it's all in there the way I need it. And when we do this, you're going to pull straight up. And you pull when it's wet. Oh, goodness. Pull it up when it's wet so it doesn't dry on the surface. Oh, it looks so pretty. This one I would definitely need to go back, and last night we talked about how to fix things, and I feel like this one would be a little bit on that scenario. It's just not as crisp as I wanted it. It might have been because I put maybe too much paste on it. I wasn't paying attention, but it still turned out really cool. You can see where I put a little bit too much paste at one point, but look, quick and easy. Isn't that beautiful? So this just helps us remember that God is in control, and he's there in the hard times, in the worst of times, in the storms of life. But God is our way maker. I'm going to try to go through here, and I'm going to try to clean up some of the areas as I'm putting away my tools so I don't make a mess out of everything here. I'm going to put this over here for a moment. I have a nice dress on. I don't really want it all chalked up. Okay, there's that. Let me wash my finger off here. Okay. I'm just going to go in with a little Q-tip. That's what I'm going to go in with. And if you're just watching live, like say, hey, you just tuned in. I'm just going in and fixing some of my mistakes. And you just go in with water, a little Q-tip. Actually, you could use, I'll get a little paintbrush. I think it might be a little bit easier. Let's see here. Because it's so thin, like, I'm going to go with my little paintbrush, and I'm going to go and I'm going to make some of these areas a little bit more crisp. Nope, that's going to take a Q-tip. So sometimes you can press too hard on the transfer and it seeps through. Sort of what I did here. I didn't mean to, but it happened. So, okay, I'm going to take the other side, I think, and dry it up. Whoops. Sort of clean it up here. I think I'm making it worse than better. Oh, goodness. Okay, let me try to dry it up here. Oops. Yep, nope, I'm making it worse than better. So, I think we're just going to let it be because you still read it. It's just not as clear as I would really want it to be. Okay, now I'm putting some water on my brush. I'm trying to just make it as clear as I can. If you're just tuning in, hello, I'm so glad you're here. Just sort of fixing up my mistakes here. I've sort of made it a little worse. But I'm going to actually take my paintbrush. I'm going to go into my chalk here. I'm going to fix just a little paintbrush. And I'm just going to fix my mistake right here. I have to go over it a couple times. Okay. Just, whoop, my screen likes to jump over to something else. Yeah, so let me see if I can fix that area right there. Oops. It's not really wanting to budge. But you can fix it with your paintbrush, and then you can go back in and fix it that way, which I'm trying to do right now. Just fix it. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. And I think on the chalkboard it's a little bit more giving than it is on anything else. So it turned out really cute. It's just I'm trying to smear out some of the lines here. I really want some texture here, but whatever. There's texture on it. Oh well, they're clouds. Clouds have texture, right? Okay, so I think I'm just gonna let it be, because if I start messing with it, it's gonna be like I'm gonna have to redo the whole entire thing. I really don't want to do the whole entire thing. So let me just take some water here, clean up the edge right here where I went out of the line. Clean up this area here. Again, it's preference. If you're fine the way it is and you're like, I don't really want to spend forever fixing all the spillage on one side, I think it's fine. Go for it. Leave it as is. Nothing says you have to fix it. It's just my little brain says, wait a minute. So that's just me. That's just me fixing things. But trying to just make it so it's a little bit more crisp. I think what happened is I just put too much paste on my, I was so excited and just to get it one and done and be done with it. I didn't take my time. So, oh well, lesson learned, right? But like you can go through, very gently remove like some areas that maybe it's just a little bit, maybe it's a little crowded. Maybe you can use your paintbrush, clean up the edges. One could spend a long time, if they wanted to, making things look perfect. But you don't have to make it look perfect. There's nothing that says it has to be perfect. And perfect is different to everybody. So remember that as well. It's because mine is not to my standard. It doesn't mean it has to be. You don't have to be to my standard on your craft. Okay? Remember. You don't need to compare ourselves to somebody else. We just do what we can do. And that is good enough. Yeah. Spilled over a little bit there. And I would clean up those lines there, but you know what? I'm not going to. Let me see if I can just clean up a little spot here because it's it's sort of crowding my stuff here. So let's get some water. Let's brush it off. Brush it off. If you're just tuning in, I'm just cleaning up my overlays here in my project. Just trying to make it better. I must need like a stiff brush. Oh, is that going to be? Oh, maybe that's going to be better. We'll just try. It's all error. Trial and error. Let's see if this works better. Oh yeah, that worked better. Oh yeah, that works much better. Just trying to clean up my... Oh, yeah, that works really good. Okay, angle brush it is. Who knew? You just use your brush, pull it up at the edges, sweep it away. It should be okay. Let's see, sweep that away. Sweep, 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 sweep. So I still have paint in there. Okay. So you can see that cleanup sometimes takes a little longer. Applying it is really quick, but if you wanted to go back through and fix every little nook and cranny or whatever, you would just go through and fix it up. But tip, use an angle brush. It seems to be working really well. Cool. I had no idea. Okay. You can get a little bit more, you can get closer to your things. You have a little bit more give on your brush. And like this one has some lines in here that you could just go through and make it thing. Thank you for tuning in on my live tonight. I told my husband, okay, I'm going to go do my live and then we'll watch a show or something. He's like, okay. So I'm just cleaning up my edges here so it looks a more presentable. Using an angled brush to go in between these lines here. And again, we're using a chalkboard. Then I go through it again and pick it up, erase it here. So welcome to my anniversary. I hope your day's been well. And this transfer is called Waymaker. And can find it on my website. And you can put it together you can get it as a bundle. If you comment the word amen or hello or things like that, I can send you the link so you can get this as well. And let's just fix up here because I don't like the way that this looks. Again, I can spend all night fixing and finagling this, but I'm not going to. I'm just fixing the ones that I'm like, oh, that bled over, or trying to fix it really quick. Oops, where did I go? Right there. Okay. I just erase it and then I pick it up with my brush. I'm just trying to keep those lines really well here. Okay, I'm gonna have to put some more water there. Okay. Awesome. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let me get in between these crevices here. Oh, this is the line that needed to be fixed. So remember, God is our waymaker. Even though we may not see it, even though times are hard, even though maybe our marriage is on a rock, God is still in control. I'm very thankful to have the husband I have. Because before I had, life was not easy. So I'm so thankful for my husband. I'm thankful for his direction and his love for our family and for everybody. Okay, that looks good. Oh, I need to do this line here. Hey, if you're just tuning in, welcome, welcome. I'm just fixing up lines on my art here. Go ahead and say hello so I know that you're here. That would help me. I can only see it that says somebody is watching, but it doesn't tell me exactly who. So it would help me for you to say, hey. So I can call and say, hey to you. So just cleaning up some of these areas. And it looks better than it did. Again, I could go through every little line and make it better. But who has time for that all the time? Not I. So I'm just separating some of these lines here to make them a little clearer. And just use water and a paintbrush. That's all it takes. I'm using an angled an angled paintbrush, and trying to separate some of the clouds from the clouds here. So it's a little clearer on the fine lines area. You can also probably take like a toothpick and put water on it and toothpick it out that way. But this angled brush is working pretty well. It just takes a little bit more finesse, I guess is the word. And you just have to keep rinsing your brush out so that it's clear. Oh, sweet. It's working. Oh, man. Okay. Thank you for all of the happy anniversary wishes today. That was so kind of everybody. I read them all to Rick earlier today. I said we had like 18 people, 20 people, 25 people. It was pretty cool. And he was like, oh, wow, okay. So I'm just picking up the lines here. This is like the time-consuming part. But I noticed that I just didn't like how it was right here. So just taking a little extra time to bring up my paint here. And you're probably asking, well, why are you doing that if you're just going to erase it anyway? True. Why am I doing it? Well, so it can be done and looks nice when I show it to you all. And it's just something about me. I like to get it nice. So, okay, this line is almost there. So much better. It looks much better. Okay. Let's take this little line here. A little back and forth motion. Again, I'm going to go back and pick up the paint, the chalk that I just moved. So it's a clearer line. Some water. Pick up that area. I'm going to use a Q-tip to pick up this water that I just put there. Okay, oh, that looks beautiful now. That line looks awesome. I'm going to go right here. Fix this line. Okay. I'm going to go over here. I got to fix this line. I'm going to fix this line under here. Make it more crisp. Okay. Pick it up with the Q-tip. Awesome. Just rubbing my Q-tip at the edge of the design here, trying to get it a little bit more crisp. Okay. And if you're just watching, hey, welcome, welcome. I'm just cleaning up my design here. Very, very lightly cleaning up my smudging and just making it a little bit more crisp in my art. Again, you don't have to do this, but it does make for crisper lines. And yeah, it just makes for a crisper line. With this transfer, I seem to always have to go back and go in there and fine detail it. I think it's just the way it is. It's just so many small little details. But that's okay. Okay, that's done. Yeah. Like I said, you could spend a long time making sure every little thing was good. But using an angled brush has really helped to get these lines crisper. Okay. Okay. Crisp up this line here. I hope everyone's doing well, and thank you for tuning in tonight. Okay. Okay. a piece of chalk, I think, right there, and it's not coming off right now. Okay. Okie dokie. So here's the other side of the Q-tip would be good. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so now I'm just using a finer brush here. It looks so much better than it did. I'm going to go through this little line over here. Just pick it up. Just making my lines a little crisper, a little bit more easier to see versus crowded. I'm using an angled brush and a fine brush to go through each of these little lines. So just let it sit there for a moment, and then you go back and you pick up your chalk from your design here. Awesome, that worked better. Sort of just sort of just pill your water up into the crevices of the design, and it seems to work a little better to be able to pick up that extra chalk that's wading around in the crevice. Okay, looks pretty good. Oh my goodness, this is taking forever. Okay. Okay, here's that. Take our water. Gonna have to empty my water bottle out, my spray bottle, because I'm using that as my rinse out thing for my water. Oh well. Okay, coming in with my Q-tip again, taking up any of the excess that's here. Looks good. Hope everyone's doing well. If you're just tuning in, I'm trying to get this completely done here. Okay, that looks pretty good there. Looks pretty good here. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. Okay, Q-tip. And it's nice because this is a chalkboard, so it just rotate your Q-tip around here, making sure that all those lines get a little bit tender love and care. Okay, it looks better than what it did. Okay, picking up the excess paint here, chalk. Use my paintbrush to take that away. Okay. And what I can do also oops, is I could probably just dot that like that. Bring it up like that. Maybe it might have worked. Okay, let me clean up one other little line here. And then I think I'm going to call it good. Because, like I said, one could go through every tiny line. Really, 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 really. If you want to do that, great. Go for it. To your art project, you can do whatever you want to do. But for me, I don't always have the time to go and clean up every little line of my artwork. Unless I see it like that clearly needs some tender loving care, I then do it that way. But just to have it always whatever the word is, pristine, I guess the word is. Like your brain tells you have to do it this one certain way. Well, guess what? It doesn't always have to be. You don't have to have it super perfect. That's the nice thing about this. Anybody can do it. It doesn't need to be perfect. I was just showing you, like, I go in and fix things. Oops, that one got a little bit too much water on that. So, okay. Okay. Okay, I'm going to take my paper towel and I'm just going to blot. 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 Okay, let me get this other surface over here cleaned. Okay, that worked. I have to blot it again. Blot. Blot, blot, blot. Blot. This surface over here got a little wonky doodle. Okay, we're going to blot, blot, blot. Again, I'm using paste, so it is a little bit more forgiving than ink. So that's nice. And just fixing up I have my circle here. Okay, that works. Oh, that looks like it's a half. It looks like it's a wonkadoodle circle. Right there. And I'm just fixing. I found that when you put this on fabric, this stencil, it goes on fabric, it works better, I think, because the fabric sort of just adheres to it. So, something that you can consider. Okay. Let me. Okay, let's take that away over there. Okay. I'm going to blot that over there. I saw something over here that caught my eye. Oh, yeah. And it was this area right here. And that area. And this area. Okay. Again, One can spend all night long fixing every little nook and cranny. But I am not going to. I'm just going to blot all this water that I had used here. Going to clean up my lighthouse area really quick. Okay, that looks better. Again, blot, pull away. Looks like that needs to be a little bit more. Okay, I think that is what I'm going to do with this tonight. A little bit more cleanup on aisle 1 here. Blah, 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 blah. Awesome. Much, much better. Much better. Okay, those lines are clear. You can see the definition between the clouds. Blot that, blot that, blot this. Okay, guys, I think we're good. So, thanks for tuning in with me. So look at this. I cleaned it up a whole lot. You can see the lines in between all the clouds and how it says miracle worker, promise keeper, light of the world, light of the darkness. My God, that is who you are. So hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. And happy anniversary to me. Thanks, guys. You guys are awesome. Bye. Oops, that's not what it was. Control V. There you go. Oops. Okay, hold on. Sorry, guys. Okay, now bye. See ya.